welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Anna. I'm so happy you're here because today I'm going to show you to make the most fantastic, delicious apple pie recipe ever. I was personally not a huge fan of apple pie until like a few years ago, and now I love apple pie. And I want to show you my favorite way to make it. It's like the most delicious, I'm telling you, apple pie ever. It doesn't require a lot of ingredients, but what you see here, so you're only going to need, we see some apples. I really enjoy using a combination of Granny Smith apples and Gala apples. I feel like the tardiness from the Granny Smith apples with the sweetness from the Gala apple makes the most perfect apple pie recipe ever. You're going to need some granulated sugar, a little bit of salt. I also have some cinnamon, nutmeg. You're going to need a little bit of butter, and you're going to need your pie crust. Here I have just my homemade pie crust. I'm not going to show you how to make it because I have a whole separate video for that here. So I have two different pie crusts that I like to use, and this is kind of like a combination of both. In the written recipe, I'm going to leave the recipe for this specific pie crust that I made, but I like to switch it around. You're also going to need, of course, your pie dish. This is a 10-inch pie dish, but any pie dish that you have. First thing I'm gonna do is add some lemon juice to the bowl here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to peel and core my apples, and I'm going to slice them. You can either dice them, you can slice them, whatever it is that you want to do, and then I'm gonna place them right into the lemon juice. That way they don't turn brown. Okie dokie, so I am pretty much done here with my apples. I have them all in my bowl. I'm gonna toss them in the lemon juice that I have here, so everything is well coated. Now I have my skillet here on medium heat, and to this I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons of butter. Okay, I'm just gonna let that melt for a second. Now to this, I'm gonna mix in my salt and sugar real quick because I'm gonna add it all to my apples along with my nutmeg and cinnamon. And we're gonna add it right in. Okay. And we're gonna cover our apples with the cinnamon, the nutmeg, beautiful sugar, salt. Okay, this is looking good. My butter is almost melted. Let me wash my hands and let me get a spatula. And get this butter nice and melty. Okay, it's looking beautiful. Now we're going to add our apples right in here. Be careful. I think I should have used a bigger skillet. Make a note of that so when you make your filling, you don't make the same mistakes I did. Okay, now I'm going to let this cook, and then we're going to add our cornstarch so we can thicken up the sauce so it's not really runny. These are looking amazing. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my cornstarch. This is perfect. As you can see, the cornstarch thicken up all of that beautiful sauce. So this is about done. I am going to turn off the stove, and then I'm going to transfer this into my pie plate. So as you can see, I have it lined here with my pie dough. I did pop in the dough in the fridge while this was being cooked. Let's see if I can do this without making a mess. You do also want to start preheating your oven to 425. Okay, let me see if I can do it like this, otherwise I'm gonna take forever. There we go. Ooh, good amount of apples. This is gonna be delicious. I'm gonna even everything out. Alrighty. Okay, so this is done. I'm going to roll out the top of the pie crust so we can assemble the whole thing and we can put it to bake. So I have my second pie dough here. All I'm gonna do is sprinkle a little bit of flour onto my work surface here. I'm gonna sprinkle my baking, my rolling pin as well, and we're gonna roll. You wanna turn as we go. Okay, so for the top of my pie crust, I do want a lattice design. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut my pie dough into strips. This is kind of hard to do because I don't have a lot of space. Let me put this here for a second, but you just want to grab your piece, be very gentle, nothing breaks, and you want to put it on top, just like so. Grab your other piece. Okay, so what you want to do now is, now we're going to do another strip. Going the other way, like this. You want to put it back. Since this is on top of the oven, it's kind of breaking apart, so you kind of get the idea of what I'm trying to do here. So I'm going to do this. You won't be able to see it because I don't have a lot of space, but you kind of know what I'm trying to do. I have my pie ready. All I'm gonna do is brush the top with a little bit of egg wash. This is just one egg beaten with a little bit of water, and I'm going to go all over the pie crust with this big of egg wash, and that's gonna make the top really nice and beautiful and golden and delicious. Okay, this is good. Now this is going to go into our oven at 425 degrees for about 15 minutes, and I'm going to bring the temperature down to 375, and I'm going to cook it for about 30 to 40 minutes until the crust does a golden. If your crust gets a little too golden around the edges, just put either like a pie crust shield, or you can just put a little bit of foil on it so it doesn't get too dark. My pie is finally out of the oven, and let me tell you, it is looking wonderful. It's so yummy. So I did let it rest for about, I think it's been resting, it's been out of the oven for about 15-20 minutes, and it looks something like this. Isn't it beautiful? It smells like fall, it smells like home, it smells like apple pie. I wasn't going to cut into it because I do want to take a really picture of it, but I am too tempted, and I just want to cut myself a little sliver, nothing too big. As you can see, it's golden brown. I'm gonna cut myself a little piece. Oh yeah, oh my god, this crust, let me tell you, if you don't make homemade crust for your pies, you're making a big mistake. There's nothing better than flaky, buttery, crunchy, crispy homemade crust. And obviously my pie is still really hot, so it's kind of falling apart a little bit, but I just want to try it. I just want to taste it. Don't you just love the smell of apple pie? And a little scoop of ice cream on top. Delicious. It's sweet, but not too overly sweet. If you're using old gala apples, like really sweet apples, I would say remove a little bit of the sugar. So instead of using 1 cup, use about 3/4 of a cup, unless you have a sweet tooth like me, or it might be a little too sweet. This crust is dynamite. The filling is even better. As you can tell, I can stop eating it because it's that good, and there's nothing better than warm pie. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Remember, written recipe in the description box, or just go directly to anitasrecipes.com. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.